Today we are going to start with a new topic, that is meiosis, and the basics of the meiosis we have seen in our last class, right? If somebody have missed the last class, please go to the lecture series cell cycle and cell division. You can get the basics of the meiosis. So meiosis, as we have seen in the last class, it is basically a reductional division. Why it is a reductional division? This is because the parent cell gets divided into two daughter cells with half number of chromosome. That means if parent cell is having a 2n chromosome, when after division, when it divides into the daughter cells, it form daughter cells with chromosome n. So this is, you can say, half the number of the parent chromosome. As the chromosome number gets reduced to half, so we call it reductional division, right? So meiosis basically takes place. Meiosis is a process which basically takes place during the gametogenesis, right? So we can say that meiosis describes a specific process of cell division by which gametes are made. So this is a process by which, you can say, gametes are formed, right? To maintain the chromosome number. This process begins with a cell with double the amount of DNA. With double the amount of DNA. See here, the amount of DNA is double in the parent cell. But when it divides into two daughter cell, it gets reduced to your half, right? So here the process, we can say that this process begins with double the normal amount of DNA and end up with 4 identical haploid daughter cells after 2 division. So how 4 identical? See here, from this cell we will be getting a NN, right? Now this cell again will divide and form two daughter cells with N, and these again form NN. And see here, the first division through which the parent cells gets reduced to half is known as meiosis 1. And this, the daughter cells which already formed from the parent cell by meiosis 1 now again will divide, right? So the division through which it divides is your meiosis second division, right? So meiosis 1, you can see it is a reductional division. Why reductional? Because the chromosome number gets reduced to half. But if you see meiosis 2, what is happening in meiosis 2? The number of daughter chromosome is same. The number of when daughter cell divides, the number of chromosome is same. So we can say that this meiosis 2 is a equational division, but meiosis 1 is your reductional division, because the daughter parent cell, or you can say parent chromosome, gets reduced to half, right? So there are basically how many stages? There are 6 stages within which we study this division process, namely prophase, prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis. So in meiosis 1, what we have seen till now is that, suppose this is a parent cell, it gets divided into two daughter cells with half the number of chromosome compared to the parent cell. So this division we called it meiosis 1, right? Now this will again divide into two cells with equal number of chromosome, and this is what we call meiosis 2. This is what we call meiosis 2. So from this we can conclude that meiosis 1 is your reductional division and meiosis 2 is a equational division, because the number of chromosome is similar. Here the number of chromosome is similar, but here you can see, if you notice this part, the number of chromosome gets reduced to half. So we call it what? Reductional division, right? So in meiosis 1, you can see homologous chromosomes are separated into two cells such that there is one chromosome consisting of two chromatids per chromosome in each daughter cell. So that it is describing this part. That, see here, in meiosis 1, homologous chromosomes are separated into two cells. This cell is having a homologous chromosome, right? Those homologous chromosome get splits off and divides into two daughter cells, right? Consisting of one chromosome, consisting of what? One chromosome in each cell. Now this will again divide to form two daughter cells, and that is what we call the meiosis 2, right? So that is all about the meiosis. Coming to the prophase 1 of meiosis 1, uh, in case of before coming to prophase 1, see here everyone, prior to prophase the chromosome replicates to form sister chromatids, right? There are initially 4 chromatids and 2 chromosomes for each of the 23 chromosomes. We will see this in our future slides with diagrams. What are the changes that takes place in prophase 1? See here, the very important, what are the changes that are taking place in prophase 1 are nuclear envelope gets disintegrates. Nuclear envelope disintegrates and the chromosome begins to condense. There is a, if you remember the prophase of mitosis, the nuclear membrane, there also it got disintegrated, right? Same thing here, the nuclear envelope disintegrates and the chromosome begins to condense. Spindle fiber appear, which will be important for successful division of the chromosome. Why? Because that spindle fiber will be pulling the chromosomes into the 2 poles. Homologous chromosomes exchange part of themselves such that one chromosome contains both maternal and paternal DNA, and this process is known as crossing over, and the points at which this occurs on a chromosome are referred to as chiasmata. Now we will see this point in upcoming slides, right? So from this slide, what you need to understand are the changes which are taking place in the prophase 1. So what are the changes that are taking place in the prophase 1 is your disintegration of nuclear membrane disintegrates, right? Condensation of chromosome begins to condense. Spindle fiber formation of spindle fiber, or you can say appearance of spindle fiber in the cell, and lastly you can say chromosome chromosome crossing over of the chromosome, which we call chiasmata. Now we will see this in detail now. See here, this is, I told you last class also, I told you that in meiosis, the cell which has gone through the interphase, that cell will be entering into the meiotic division, right? So now this is a interphase cell, the cell which has crossed or which is done with the interphase, now will move to your meiosis 1. This is a interphase cell. Interphase cell means what? It has completed your G1, S and G2 phase. Now the cell is ready for karyokinesis, that is the division of the nucleus, which is divided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, right? Coming to your prophase, I told you in case of meiosis 1, the prophase is divided into how many types? 5 types. What are the parts? See here, I am writing it here. Prophase in case of meiosis 1 is divided into lactotin, zygotin, pakitin, diplotin and dikinesis, right? So these are the phases of the prophase 1, and we will be studying about each of these phases along with the diagram, right? So here if you see, this is the very first stage of your prophase, that is the lactotin. So lactotin comes from 2 words, lacto plus tin. Lacto stands for thin and here tin stands for thread. So here what basically happens, what are the changes you need to focus on is, see, these are the chromatin, right? In case of lactotin, the chromatin fibers appears like a bead-like. See here everyone, this is bead-like structures, right? If you see carefully, these are small beads-like structure which you can see on the chromatin, right? So these beads-like structure, if you see the interphase cell, these beads-like structures are absent in the interphase cell. It develops only in the lactotin stage, right? So we call that the chromatin fibers appears bead-like. Bead-like means these are the bead-like structures. Bead-like structures, right? So here we can say in lactotin there is an appearance of a bead-like structure. This is the first point. The second point is that the fibers, you can see this fibers, this gets attached to the nuclear membrane. So these fibers are attached to the nuclear membrane. So these fibers gets attached to the nuclear membrane in case of lactotin. So we will not be going into each and every point, only the important points we are considering here. So what basically happens in lactotin, the chromatin fibers appears like a bead-like structure. So you can also say that bead-like structure gets developed in the chromatin fiber, and chromatin fiber gets attached to one end of the nuclear membrane, right? Now what happened, this is these all happen in your lactotin stage. Coming to your zygote. See, second phase is what? This is what is your second phase. First, second, third. This is fourth and this is fifth. Now let's move to the second stage. That is your zygote. So what is happening in zygote? This condensation of the chromosome takes place. First thing is what? Condensation of the chromosome takes place. As the chromosomes are getting condensed, so what will happen? This chromatin gets thicker, right? This chromatin, how they will change? They will get thicker. Clear? Just a minute. This you can see here, this if you see this chromatin, these are thin thread like structure, but in zygote this gets condensed, so you can see the structure little bit thicker compared to your lactotin stage, right? So in case of zygote, the chromosome condensation takes place. Once the chromosome gets condensed, there is a pairing. You can say initially there is no pairing, all are maintaining a equal distance, but here in zygote you can see the two cells are closed, two chromatins are closed and two chromatins are closed. So that is what we call pairing of homologous chromosome takes place in zygote, which is very important. So you can say right here, pairing of homologous chromosomes. So here we can say the pairing of homologous chromosome takes place. Pairing of homologous chromosome. Where is this pairing of homologous chromosome is taking place? Pairing of homologous chromosome is taking place in your zygote stage. So you can write down, you can also write down here. I'm writing it here, pairing of homologous chromosome. So you can see this is one pair, right? And another pair is this. So now you can see the pairing, how the chromosome gets paired. So that is what we call the pairing of homologous chromosome. So what is homologous chromosome? Homologous chromosome means what? For one character, there will be two alleles. We know that, we have already studied in genetics, right? For one character, there will be two alleles. One from father, one from mother. So when both these alleles will combine together, that is what we call the pairing of homologous chromosomes, right? So the pairing of, if we see the pairing of homologous chromosome, the structure will be looking like this, dyad or bivalent. We call it dyad. See here, two homologous chromosome pairing with each other, right? So the chromosome will be visible like this. It visibles like two chromosomes. So we call it dyad. Dyad means two, or bivalent. Bi stands for two, right? But what exactly will happen here? See, this chromosome will start splitting here, right? So the chromosome will start splitting here. After splitting, you will see that there are four arms. This chromosome gets splitted and changes into this part, and this chromosomes get splitted and changes into four chromatids. So if you see, these are the arms of the same chromosome, so we call it sister chromatids because they are the arms of the same chromosome. But if you see, this and this are not the arms of the same chromosome, so what we called it? We called it non-sister chromatids, right? What we called it? We called it non-sister chromatids because they are not the arms of the same chromosome. And always, there is very important point to be noted here is crossing over. What is crossing over? You can see the next diagram. Yes, that is this point. We call it crossing over, right? And if you see, this is what we call it, crossing over. Crossing over always takes place between non-sister chromatids. Crossing over always takes place between non-sister chromatids, right? So we have seen that the crossing over is taking place always between the non-sister chromatids, and here you can see there are four arms, right? All this, as each chromosome is having four arms, so we call this structure tetrad. We call this structure what? Tetrad. and there is a crossing over between the non-sister chromatids. So this is what is the crossing over. So to differentiate the chromosomes, I have colored in one chromosome and another one. Let me color it here also. This chromosome also, if I colored it, you can see here, this is, let me color it, right? So to differentiate it from the one from another, right? So you can see here the crossing over is taking place, right? So this point where the crossing over is taking place, the point where crossing over is taking place, we call the chiasmata formation. Chiasmata is basically the points where the crossing over is taking place, and this crossing over is taking place at Pectian stage of prophase. Prophase is having a 5 stages, that is your lactotin, zygotin, pectitin, diplotin, dikinesis, right? Out of all the 5 stages, the crossing over takes place in pectitin. Pairing of homologous chromosomes takes place in zygotin. Appearance of dyad or tetrad takes place at the beginning and at the end of the what? Zygotin stage. And this crossing over needs a help of an enzyme. The enzyme used for this crossing over is known as recombinase. Is known as what? Recombinase, right? Now let me tell you one very important point here. Now when this is taking place inside the nucleus, right, it is taking place inside the inside the nucleus, nucleoplasm, they must be held together. For crossing over to take place, the chromosome must be held by someone, so that there is a successful crossing over. So the complex which is holding the chromosome, the complex which is holding the chromosome, we call it synaptonomial complex. Synaptonomial complex. So what is synaptonomial complex? It is a complex which is responsible for holding the two chromosomes together so that crossing over of the chromatids takes place, right? And the crossing over is known as chiasmata formation. This entire, all these things takes place in the Pectian stage with the help of an enzyme called recombinase, right? Okay. Then that is all about your Pectian. Let's move to your diplotin stage. If you see diplotin stage, what will happen? The chromosome gets crossed over. Crossing over is, see here in diplotin stage, there is a breaking of synaptonomial complex. The synaptonomial complex starts breaking or dissolution of the, you can say breaking of synaptonomial complex. How breaking of synaptonomial complex? Already crossing over already took place in the Pectian stage, right? So what will happen now? The job is done. So synaptonomial complexes start solving, right? Or it gets removed. And as a result, this junctions or separation of homologous chromosome takes place. You can see these chromosomes are separated. Only it is tied at the crossing over part. But rest chromosome is getting separated because there is a removal of synaptonomial complex, right? That is what is taking place in diplotin. You can expect a question also here, in which stage the removal of synaptonomial complex takes place. It is in your diplotin stage this the breaking of synaptonomial complex takes place, right? So in case of diplotin, there is a breaking of synaptonomial complex plus disjunction or separation of homologous chromosomes takes place, right? Coming to dikinesis, in dikinesis, what will happen? The nuclear membrane disappears. So disappearance of nuclear membrane, which is normally the part of prophase we have seen in mitosis, is taking place. Ester formation takes place. How many esters? Two. One here, another here. So we call this amphiestral. We call this what? Amphiestral. Spinal fiber, you can see this thread-like structures. This is what we call spindle fibers. So these are the changes which are taking place in dikinesis, right? So up to this, clear everyone, what is happening in pectitin, zygotin, diplotin, dikinesis? Next, we will see prometaphase. Prometaphase, what is basically happening? Now, spindle fibers get attached to the chromosome at the point along the chromosome called centromere. So, if you see this is spindle fiber, say this spindle fiber is getting attached to chromosome, right? So the point where it is getting attached, that is what we call centromere. That is what we call centromere, right? So here there is a stage between metaphase and prometaphase. In prometaphase, the spindle fibers get attached to your centromere, right? That is what we call prometaphase. Coming to your, so this is a diagram here. If you see, this is prophase, right? This is prophase 1. What is happening here? This is spindle fiber, this is centrioles. It is start moving to opposite pole, and this chromosome, you can see chiasmata, right? These are chiasmata, and this is your homologous chromosome. Coming to your metaphase, the chromosome gets aligned at the center, right? The chromosome, see here, chiasmata formation takes place in Pachytene stage. Here it is given as a whole. 5 stages are not shown here, but so here everything is given in one diagram, but we have seen separately where peptide crossing over takes place, right? So that where homologous chromosome pairs up, it pairs up. Pairing of homologous chromosome takes place in zygote, and this crossing over takes place in pachytene. So after prophase, what will happen? At metaphase, the chromosome gets aligned at the center, right? Now in case of, this is in case of metaphase, chromosome gets aligned at the center, which we call equatorial plate. Now in anaphase 1, what will happen? This spindle fiber will start pulling the chromatids into the two opposite poles. One will be going to this side, another will be going to this side. So homologous chromosomes moves to the opposite poles of the cell. Now here in telophase, there is a reappearance of this nuclear membrane, right? Reappearance of nuclear membrane, and starting of the cytokinesis will begin, right? So we have seen that in metaphase, what basically is happening, chromosome aligns along the equator of the cell. And this is what we call the equatorial plate. The center where the chromosome gets aligned, we call it equatorial plate, right? Next, anaphase 1. In case of anaphase 1, this spindle will pull the chromosome into opposite poles. This will move, this chromatids will move to this side, and this will move to this side. And after this, the cell will divide at the center, giving to the two daughter cells, right? So in anaphase 1, what basically is happening? The homologous chromosome gets pulled towards opposite pole of the cells, and spindle fiber retract to divide the DNA between the two cells. Next, telophase 1, we have seen in telophase, there is a reappearance of nuclear membrane, spindle fiber disappear, and in cytokinesis, the cytoplasm and cell divides, resulting into two daughter cells. So what we have seen in the class is basically meiosis is a reductional division. It deals with prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. In this class, we have discussed about meiosis 1. And next class, we will be looking to meiosis 2. In meiosis 1, we have seen that it deals with prophase 1, right? Metaphase 1, right? Anaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1. Prophase 1 is divided into 5 stages: lactotin, right? Zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and dikinesis. So what is happening in lactotin? There is an appearance of bead-like structure. Bead-like structure appearance, right? There is an appearance of bead-like structure, and chromatin gets attached to one end of the nuclear membrane. You can say chromatin attached to one end of nuclear membrane. NM stands for nuclear membrane, right? Coming to zygotin. In zygotin, what will happen? Pairing of homologous chromosome takes place. Pairing of homologous chromosome takes place, and this pairing of homologous chromosome, we called it synapse, right? Pairing of homologous chromosome, we called it synapse, and it takes place with the help of a complex called synaptoglycan. nomial complex, right? So this is taking place in your what? In your zygoting phase. Now what about Pachyton? In Pachyton, crossing over takes place. Crossing over takes place in Pachyton, or we can also call it the chiasmata formation takes place in Pachyton. So crossing over takes place in Pachyton stage, and this crossing over, the point where the crossing over is taking place, we call the chiasmata formation, right? And what is happening in diplotin? In case of diplotin, what is happening in diplotin? Breaking of synaptonomial complex. Breaking of synaptonomial complex is taking place in diplotin. And in dikinesis, we have seen that nuclear membrane, NM stands for nuclear membrane, disappear, nuclear membrane disappear, right? Then second, we have seen what? Nuclear membrane disappear, right? This is what is taking place in dikinesis, nuclear membrane disappear, and what is happening? Let me write it properly here. Spindle fiber formation takes place. Spindle fiber formation takes place. So it will help in the formation of spindle fiber, right? Anaphase 1, what will happen in anaphase? In metaphase, what will happen? Chromosome gets aligned at the equator. Gets aligned at equator, right? And in case of anaphase, what will happen? In case of anaphase, chromosome moves to opposite pole. Chromosome moves to opposite pole, right? And in case of telophase 1, there is a reappearance of nuclear membrane. You can say in case of telophase 1, reappearance of nuclear membrane, spindle fiber gets disappeared. Now after telophase, there will be a cytokinesis. Cell will divide into two daughter cells, right? So that is all about meiosis 1. Next class we'll be discussing about the meiosis 2. If you have any doubts and queries, please let me know. Feel free to ask me. Thank you so much, students, for watching the session. Thank you.